We are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy.
Dummy. Conspiracy dummy.
Oh, hell no. Ugh. Disgusting. Yuck. That's so gross. Oh, man. Let's get this shit going. Hey, welcome to Conspiracy Dummy, the conspiracy podcast that eats serial killers for breakfast. I am your host, Double D. Joining me on the podcast, we have the man who lives a life of danger. Secret Agent Man, Mr. Williams. What's good, homie?
What's up? What's up? Glad to be back.
Yep. And how's it going, bro? How's everything?
Good, dude. The temperatures are finally coming down. I'm really enjoying that. Fall is pretty much here.
Yep.
So
Man. It's the spooky season, bro.
The spooky season. Halloween is just but a few weeks away at this point.
Yeah, for sure. And well, before we get into our killer topic for today, let's talk about some current shit going on, man. Some current conspiracies, bro.
What do you got?
Well, first, let's talk about what's your thoughts on Kanye, man? He's wilding? Do you think he's wilding? Do you think he's speaking truth to power, or what's up?
I think so. Like, I don't know the whole. I don't know all of Kanye's music. I know he's always in the news, for something, always being, irreverent and having different opposing viewpoints, very stark to whether it be the mainstream narrative or just, I don't know, reality in and of itself. But I mean, I think, has always been wildin'.
Kanye's Kanye, huh?
Yeah, for sure. A Yee. But it seems now more than ever, since he's not in a relationship or married or whatever to Kim Kardashian, that he's, I don't know. You see him coming out and talking about things that would be viewed more of like a conservative narrative.
He wants to run for president.
Oh,
future, bro.
Dude, I think Donald Trump opened up the door for people to realize, like, yo, if you don't really need to have any kind of political background, just as long as you have a big enough following and people will vote for you, you could easily be president.
Yeah, man. You seen it even during Reagan's time, you know what I mean? He was an actor too.
Yeah.
Someone famous and shit.
Same with your boy Zelensky over in Ukraine. He was a comedian and an actor.
Oh, that's right, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's really calling out, like, or I should say, going against the powers that be. I don't know. Like, he was on Tucker Carlson. I don't know. That's like a 1 or 2 hour interview. I think it was like a long ass interview.
It was. I watched. I don't even know
clips of it.
It was like I don't even know, like a 15-20 minute.
It's probably
highlight
censored.
of it or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably got censored.
It was a 2 hour interview though. That's a long ass interview, dude.
I think it was a long interview, bro. I didn't see all of it, but it was pretty long.
Say 2 hours is long.
Yeah,
that just doesn't seem normal. Like if it was a podcast, that would make sense. But
yeah,
shit.
Well, I don't know, man. Yeah, just I don't know. We'll see what's up with Kanye in the future. Probably knows something we don't.
Yeah, what's crazy, what that family does to, the men that...
Oh, for real.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
When you just look at every relationship that's gone in and gone out, and it seems like the longer you're in it, the more twisted you get. The more... It's almost like... I've recently been watching a lot of I rewatched the Lord of the Ring trilogy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like in there, like the longer you hold the ring, like the crazier you get.
Possessed and shit by that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it seems like Pete Davidson might be okay because he wasn't in it for long.
He looks like Gollum. Kind of does.
He already did. You know, he
Yeah.
looked like Smeagol for sure. That guy.
Yeah.
But you know, he might be okay because he was only dating her for like a matter of months.
He got out unscathed, huh?
Yeah, but Kanye, you know, Kanye
Are
was
they
in it for a while.
Are they still together, or are they?
No, I'm pretty sure they separated.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good for them. Let me see. What next? Oh, Alex Jones, bro. Let's get into Alex Jones. Dude he's ordered to pay $1 billion, bro, to the families of Sandy Hook victims.
$965 million.
Shit. Yeah, dude, that's a lot.
A lot of money, dude.
A lot of fucking money, bro.
I don't know how he's gonna pay that. They're probably gonna go through an appeal process, but what I read and kind of heard about was what would make it difficult is his case alone is really different than any other case in a lot of senses that I can't really describe. So you can't really take a different case and was like, hey, like they were talking about, like there was this one case that was somewhat similar and like the whole total was like 200 million or something like that.
Yeah.
But they were like, this is a totally different thing, so you can't really compare it to something to say like, hey, look at how outrageous this is compared to everything else.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe that's at least like the narrative they're trying to push, but there's no way like
Well, they're trying to set an example. They're trying to like silence conspiracy theorists and shit.
Oh no, 100%.
That's it. Like it's like,
well, they thought Alex Jones was like the daddy of, you know, he is kind of the face of like,
yeah, I guess in some way.
conspiracies. You know, he put the target on his own back.
But what does that mean? Like, you can't question any official story. Like, you can't. Like, we just have to believe the narrative. These people are whoever is in power, I guess, whatever. We gotta believe what they have to tell us.
I mean,
like, we have to believe their word on whatever goes down.
The argument against that would be you doing your own research. You know what I mean? Like if
But you can't question things. You can't even like dabble into looking into shit. You know what I mean?
You can. I mean, you can easily like look into it and see. The only thing that would make it difficult is if they've like scrubbed that information. How easily you can find, you know, what information you're looking for.
Yeah. Unless you're shadow banned.
What you can get, what's been blacked out, everything along those lines.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't think, dude, Alex Jones doesn't have fucking $965 million.
Not even, bro.
No. I mean, he could maybe claim bankruptcy, maybe. I don't know.
InfoWars. The Empire's probably no longer.
No, he'll probably still do it for sure.
Sell it.
Even, dude, he owes so much money, even Rogan couldn't bail him out, dude.
I don't think
almost $1 billion.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. It's like the family's like, "Oh, cool, we won that," but realistically, they're not gonna. They'll be lucky to see 20% of that.
Yeah, it's interesting how, like, you know, if he did or if he didn't, I don't know, man. But like, say anything about Sandy Hook, and I don't even know what to believe anymore, bro. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say on that. I don't even know.
No, yeah, it's crazy. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe they'll do a deal where, moving forward for the rest of InfoWars life, or you know, whoever they sue, they're not going to sue like Alex Jones himself. I don't think they'll sue like InfoWars or.
Well, he owns that. I'm pretty
right,
sure.
right.
Just,
so they'll probably have to strike a deal where, you know, they're not gonna. They can't just. At least I don't think they can't come in and just, you know, ixnay your entire company. So he'll always have a following and have some way to make money, but they'll probably tell him, you know, whatever money you make, we get, you know, for the rest of your life until whatever this is paid. We get 20% of, you know, whatever. So I think InfoWars will probably still go on, but who knows what kind of effect if this will tarnish that at all. It could, in times like this, it seems like depending on how you react from this, you can actually get bigger, from doing it. A great example is that, I don't know if it's a great example, but the only one I can think of is the Cash Me Outside girl.
Yeah.
She took that and fucking made,
Millions and shit.
made millions, made her empire, maybe Alex Jones could
Get on OnlyFans?
he could do that. He could get an OnlyFans, or, I'd like to see him go into stand-up comedy. I think he's a funny guy. I mean, regardless of his views and stuff,
he'll have to do like arenas bigger than Chappelle or Rogan or anybody like that. Just on that level, you have to do like I don't know how many of those, dude, for free.
Yeah.
That sucks, dude. I don't know, man. Yeah, shit, dude. I don't know. It's just crazy. Poor dude. I don't know. Maybe we could do some like GoFundMe or for the homeboy.
Well, we're already fucked. GoFundMe, they always take that shit down. Like they did it to the truckers in Canada.
Yeah.
They froze all that shit and like didn't let people take their money out. So if anybody tries to do like a GoFundMe for an Alex Jones thing, they'll definitely put the kibosh on it.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. Dude, what's your thoughts about this? I'm going to switch it up. What's your thoughts about that judge here in Dallas? That county judge ordered in the court. Clay Jenkins.
Yeah, Judge Clay Jenkins.
Yeah.
I don't...
the scandal and shit back in the, what was it, 1983 in Waco, Texas?
Yeah.
Him and his buddies or somebody like broke into this house, trespass, wearing camouflage and shit, and also wearing blackface.
Yeah.
Try to...
They painted their face black, I guess, to...
Yeah.
better conceal themselves.
Well, more than that, yeah.
And
that shit's all coming to light now, huh? Why is he like running or something? Or he is judge right now, huh?
Yeah, I think he's the judge guy right now. But it's November, so all that political midterm or whatever the fuck
all that shit's gonna come
is
up.
going on. That's why anywhere you drive, you see fucking signs in everybody's yard about vote for this person, or they got somebody's name posted up in their yard.
Yeah, and it's the perfect time. It's Halloween season, bro. It's spooky season and shit, and all the skeletons are coming out of the closet right now.
100%.
And all these politicians and judges and whatnot. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, that guy himself, his politics or whatever. But yeah, I came across that story too, and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
and I'm sure now that's kind of getting some kind of viralness. I bet you somebody will ask him something about it.
That mugshot of him looks pretty crazy, dude. He looks disturbed. He looks like a fucking serial killer or some shit.
Yeah, he looks kind of weird.
Speaking of serial killers, man, what's your thoughts on that Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix?
I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. The only parts I didn't like was, I think near the end it got kind of slow, and I don't know, to be honest, I don't know really a whole lot about the Dahmer thing. I haven't watched a lot of his own.
It's probably like the worst of all of them. Like a lot of them. They're all crazy. They're all fucked up. That's what we're going to talk about, some serial killer shit. But he is one of the worst, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch all his like interviews or tape recordings or anything like that. So I'm not 100% sure on what his motive was. Like whether it was sexual gratification or if it was...
they kind of like...
sexuality related or race related.
Maybe all of that.
Or if there was a motive or anything.
I think all of that, bro.
Because the series portrayed that Dahmer would just go after people if he found them really pretty.
Yeah. But also there was like a thing they touched on too. He was like, I don't know, he was like some devil worshiper or some satanic shit going on there. He had like shrines supposedly.
Yeah, they didn't. That's kind of the only weird thing. They didn't that was something kind of in like the periphery. Like they kept that totally surface level. You didn't hear anything about him like worshiping the devil, or you never even got that kind of vibe. So it's kind of weird. I'm sure he did that.
There's interviews or something said about him, like thinking he was the devil. Like he would put on that Exorcist 3 during like his acts of whatever, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he was like possessed or some shit like that. Like I don't know, it's some crazy shit, dude. But yeah, it was like I don't know, like the whole show itself. The actor was great, dude. He was a good actor. That
dude, he killed it.
Evan Peterson or Peters or something like that.
Yeah, I was telling somebody the other day that the whole reason that I think that series not only did so well because it was shot so well and all that stuff, they kept it pretty true, but
they dramatized it.
Yeah, a lot of the acting, like not only from Glenda, who I think also plays in Reno 911.
Oh yeah, that's the lady.
Yeah, okay. I think so. She killed it, but also the guy that played Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, he fucking killed it.
Yeah,
just
like Jeffrey Dahmer, huh? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And it's like, dude, I don't know how many fucking Jeffrey Dahmer movies or films or whatever you got to see about this dude, bro. Like, there was like one that was like a while back, My Friend Dahmer. It was like a graphic novel that made into a movie. Mm. It was made by his friend that was in high school or whatever. Like, one of his friends during school knew him, whatever, wrote a graphic novel later, a comic book, which turned into a movie. And there was another one played by that guy, that Hawkeye dude. He played Dahmer. I don't know, man. It's crazy that there's so much material on serial killers. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that says about society, what that says about us as viewers, or just people making that shit. I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts about that? Like, the fascination with serial killers.
Like, why people become serial killers, or why, like,
just like why people are drawn to it. I guess the material. Why make movies, books, TV series? I
think because I think it's just a part of being a person.
Human nature.
Yeah, I think everybody has a psychopathic tendency.
Serial killer trait.
I think we all have. I don't know if you want to categorize it as like urges or whatever, but like I feel like everybody's definitely possible of that.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of people, for whatever reason, whether it's their brain or some kind of spiritual situation or something, they're better aligned, and they can kind of like filter those like thoughts or feelings or urges or compulses or anything like that. And, but for some people,
it's something.
It's just different.
Connecting. Yeah, it's blocking that shit.
Yeah. So I think people have a normal fascination with wondering, like, what happened. It's actually funny. Mark Norman has a great joke. It's kind of similar to this, and he talks about like how close he, came to being a pedophile or whatever. He was like, yeah, I forgot what he said. He was like, yeah, when I was damn, I wish I could remember now. I totally forgot it. But it was really similar. It talks about how, like, when he was younger, he liked this, he liked grapes. When he was an adult, he liked grapes. But when he was a kid, he didn't like anybody. But then when he grew up, he liked girls, like, and how, or, like older people, and like how close, or when he was younger, he liked young people. But also when he grew up, when he got older, he liked older people. But when he was younger, he liked grapes. And even though he's 32, he still likes grapes, and how close that was, so how close of a normal path, like, just so you veer a little right or a little left, and how that can, skew something. But again, that could be determined on a few attributes, whether it's brain chemistry or something spiritually. Because you hear about, like exorcism in some serial killer cases.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people have like a fascination for it, because all those podcasts about true crime
There's
and this
a
and
lot.
that, those are some of the most popular podcasts that people fucking listen
There's
to.
a lot of them, bro.
So people have,
and I listened to a few just to do research for this shit too. It's crazy how many there are, bro.
yeah.
And I
yeah.
think like the number one viewer or listener, I should say, for those podcasts are women.
Oh, 100%.
It's crazy, huh?
100%.
Well, yeah. So doing the research on serial killers and shit, bro. What is a serial killer? What's your thoughts on like if you were to define it?
Well, I think a serial killer is a I don't know if it'd be like a mass murderer, but I feel like a serial killer is somebody who
Has to kill more than 3 people.
yeah, they have to kill like more than a few people, but I don't know if they have to have a certain like
Periods.
same type of people. Well,
Yeah.
whether it's just periods of killing for sure, but like if they usually kill like the same type of person that fit a certain demographic or whatever,
Or
or if
yeah.
it's just totally fucking, random, anywhere, any race, any age, any size,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Or, could just be strictly, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, usually
So-
it's like, yeah, I'll take a period in a short period of time or a long period of time, like years and stuff. It's spread out. Usually if it's like a big group, like nowadays, really, there's still serial killers, but nowadays it's like mass killings that you're hearing about
Oh,
and shit.
oh,
So
yeah.
it's like it kind of switched to that and shit.
Which is very interesting.
It's sad.
Well,
Yeah,
well, no,
yeah.
it's sad. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to undermine.
No, but I know what you're
any of
saying.
that, but
Yeah,
it's really
yeah.
interesting how and I understand dude. Today in modern day with all the technology, all the cameras all over the place, all your phone on you all the time, your credit cards tracking you, your debit purchases tracking you, it would be so like your phone can triangulate all kinds of crazy shit. Like the last time your phone pinged and it can triangulate the area.
And that's
So-
a good point that you said, that there's so much of that out there and stuff like this occurring, and you can't question shit. You can't say, where the fuck's the video for any event? Or,
Oh,
you know what I
right.
mean? Going back to 9/11.
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, it's like,
No, yeah, we talked.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we talked about how there
Yeah.
were there was one little frame
Yeah.
or one little thing from like a guard shack on the Pentagon yard, but there were 7-Elevens and like other places where they had pulled camera footage from, and to this day we've never not once seen that. But we know that the FBI has gone around and pulled camera footage from
Yeah.
those areas and stuff. So
yeah, I'm just saying, just bringing it back to what Alex Jones' whole case is and shit
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, but
But with modern technology, dude, it would be so hard, if not impossible. The only way I feel like you could be a serial killer today is if you were like straight up off the books. Like if you've been homeless for 20 years or something, or maybe you were an orphan and didn't really have any family or something. But today, I mean, I feel like it's so hard. So now you don't really hear about murders, but you don't hear about serial killers. All you hear about is mass murders.
yeah. Well, I got some little factoids. There's some, like, since 1980s, bro, since the 1980s, there has been over 222,000 unsolved serial killer cases.
How many?
222,000.
Fuck.
Yeah. That's, I don't know, that's probably more now and shit, bro.
Oh yeah.
And they said that you walk in your lifetime, you walk by like 36 serial killers in your lifetime.
For real?
For real.
Holy shit.
And then that the FBI says that there's like 150 to 2,000 active serial killers in the U.S. And the U.S. is like has the most serial killers in the world. That's what's recorded and shit. The data that shows there's serial killers everywhere, but U.S. has the most. California, Alaska, those fucking states have the most. It's crazy, bro.
That's really interesting because you hear all these things about we shouldn't be showing these things because that just glorifies the act. But that's interesting, an interesting statistic to hear, because I've heard that a lot throughout time about them talking about we shouldn't be putting these things on TV because that'll create like copycat killers
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, and because the thing I was gonna ask is, well, then why the fuck haven't I even I don't hear about this shit. I don't see about this stuff on my phone or the news or anything about all these serial killers. So I don't know if they're just trying to keep it under wraps for good. I don't know if they're trying to keep it under wraps for good or bad.
I don't know what that says about society, about us as Americans and shit. Or maybe it's just that we have better documentation, better investigation. Maybe we link the crimes to people better. Who knows what goes on in other countries? You know what I mean? Like if it's like just brushed under the rug and shit, or who knows who's doing shit there. But yeah, so I did find that interesting. But it is kind of something like, who knows how we collect that data? You know what I mean? And most of them are men, dude. If you think about it, there's a lot of serial killers that are women, children, and shit too. But the majority of them are like older men or young men, I guess, in general.
That would make sense.
Just men, yeah.
I mean, regardless of how people feel about it, I believe that men and women not only are biologically different, but then consequently would also be from a hormone sense, and also chemical sense, just totally wired different as well. So,
and that's what I was going to talk about too, about,
and the only thing I could think about is like that movie Monster, what's her face? Charlize Theron or whatever.
Aileen Woolness,
something like that. But she more did it out of like hate, like control, like
she was a prostitute.
Yeah, like I remember seeing that movie, but I don't think that she had like a chemical like problem thing. I think she did that for like power or revenge or something along those lines.
Who knows? I probably started off as like self-defense in the beginning and just got that lust for it. Like, fuck these assholes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just that's a Like, I don't know. That's a crazy one. Yeah. Well, did you hear? There's like a gene or something within humans, like that they can detect the gene of serial killers.
What is it? A Levi? A Strauss? What are we talking?
No, it's like I think it's called. Let me find out. I have it right here. Yeah, there's a gene called MAOA gene, or the warrior gene, they call it. They say that serial killers share this gene, and it plays like a key role in the breakdown of the neurotransmitters that break down serotonin, I think, or something like that, to the brain.
Interesting.
And it causes like this aggressive behavior in people and shit. A lot of people have this shit, dude. There was like this professor, I think, in California, and he was doing studies on psychopaths and shit. And I guess he did a study on a scan of his own brain. And like when he came across it, he was like, "Oh, whoever this person is has this gene or whatever." I guess they also could see it in the brain too, like in the frontal lobe. There's like this pattern that they see, and this professor who does this study on psychopaths saw it, and he looked at the label, and it was his own fucking name and shit.
Fuck.
And like it's crazy, dude. So I guess like you said earlier, like a lot of people carry these kind of like traits and shit, which I'm gonna get into some of these. I guess what makes a serial killer. There's like 4 different types of serial killers.
Please do.
Yeah, but okay.
This is a very fascinating.
Yeah,
subject.
so like I guess there's 4 types of serial killers, right? There's
men, women.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. There's a visionary killer. A visionary killer is like someone who suffers from like some schizophrenia or like
they're hearing voices or something.
Yeah,
like
they hear
like
some
a demon.
Shit. A demon.
A demon told me to kill that
or
person.
Something's like telling them something. Hallucinations, right?
If God told me if I didn't rip this guy's eyeballs out and use it as jelly on morning toast, and and a comet would come destroy the world.
Yeah, yeah. And the perfect example for this is David Berkowitz. He told us neighbor dog. There's a dog barking right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's the neighbor dog. Supposedly he was like a demon dog, right? And he was like telling him to go out and kill these do these acts of murder and shit. So he was like David Berkowitz was like, I don't know if he still is, but at the time he was like one of New York's biggest serial killers at the time, and he was like on the run for a while. I think he just shot people. He was also known as the 44 caliber, and another name too, which I'm gonna test you on later. Fucking dog. God damn it! What's this dog want? Hey!
You gonna do that for me? I don't got all day.
Man, fucking dog. All right, shit. So yeah, David Berkowitz, he's like the poster boy for that shit. Also, there's a fucking hedonistic killer, which does it for like the thrill or the rush, lust, sexual pleasure and shit, or financial gain. The perfect example for this kind of fucking murder, dude, is like a Jeffrey Dahmer and shit. He was like, we were talking about earlier. He like raped, dismembered, was like a cannibal, did perform acts of necrophilia on people and shit. All young men,
Ed
black
Gein.
men and shit. Ed Gein too, man. The same thing. Yeah, for sure.
Ed Gein, that was, pretty much the same thing.
Dug up people and
yeah,
shit.
he would dismember people, all kinds of shit.
And that's where you get like
sexual
fucking
stuff.
your Leatherface and shit like that, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Bless you. Also, we have the power control killer. They do it for satisfaction of having complete control, either for sex or the main motive is basically to gain power and shit. And this perfect example is like Ted Bundy, who's also like a psychopath if you think, because he was charming. He looked like just like a regular Joe, an average Joe type of dude. He was smart, but this dude was psycho, bro. He kidnapped, stalked, raped women and shit. Yeah, he was he was a horrible human being, bro. So he's like that kind of power control type of serial killer. And then last, we have mission oriented. And these motherfuckers go on and seek revenge and shit. They do it for acts of hate, ridding the world of fucking whatever they want to get rid of and shit.
So like Eileen, what's her face? From Monster.
Probably, yeah, exactly. Perfect example.
Yeah.
There's also this one guy, Joseph Paul Franklin. Quote, he killed like 12 black men because they were all dating white girls at the time.
Oh, that's fucked.
So they, it's just like racially motivated and shit. They do it just out of acts of hate and shit.
Yeah.
So that's those kind of type of serial killers, what motivates them and cause them to do what they do and shit. Yeah, man. Also, see, back in 1972, bro, the FBI or the CIA, one of the two, I always get confused with that shit. They launched the Behavioral Science Unit, which became the Behavioral Analysis Unit. The agents were John Douglas and Robert Ressler. Robert Ressler was the guy who coined the term serial killer. They conducted these interviews with 36 of the most notorious serial killers of that time. And then that's what the show, I don't know if you're familiar with Mindhunters, is based on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's how we get our profile or our data on serial killers and shit.
Yeah, that show was pretty dope.
It was pretty dope. I don't know if they canceled it, but I wish they bring it back. That'd be pretty dope.
No, the director he's doing a bunch of other stuff, and he's like more interested in stuff. And they were saying the second season was hella expensive to do. So,
For real.
I can't imagine a third season being any cheaper.
Yeah, the second one was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like, I don't know. Would you like to do that shit, bro? If you had the opportunity, like, let's be mind hunters, bro. Would you like to do that kind of type of work?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've always just kind of like talking to people, and hell yeah, I'd be interested to talk to those people to kind of know what I think. Like anybody would want to do that. Just it's the same reason why like all these true crime podcasts and shows are so popular, because we're so interested in the subject. So if you could safely talk to that person, face to face, ask them, hey, why'd you do this? Maybe have your own way of going about it, like they do on the show, as opposed to just asking so directly. They're a little bit more indirect about it.
Yeah.
But hell yeah, I would love to do that.
Who would you like to interview if you had a chance? Even if I know a lot of them are dead, but like if there was one that you would like to talk to, who would that be? I'll tell you who I would talk to.
Yeah, who's that?
You go first.
Oh, there's so many. I'm not even sure who to pick, because there's so much information on a lot of them. I mean, maybe besides like Jack the Ripper, but I don't know a lot of the serial killers like way back in the day.
Dude, there's a lot, bro. Like, I think the first recorded one, bro, that's in Greek mythology is Procrustes or something like that. I think he was a son of Poseidon. and he was like a serial killer, bro. I think there's like written recordings about this fucker. Like, but then again, it's Greek mythology, so I don't know if it's real.
Right.
But the thing says that he would like get travelers coming by and like fucking kill them, bro, and stretch them out on this iron bed and shit. I don't know, cut off their limbs and shit. I don't know. He was one of like the first serial killers recorded and shit. And you know, like Jack the Ripper, Elizabeth Bathory, and shit like that. I don't know. It's been going on for a while.
Yeah, something I'm sure I could read, but then again, I don't know how true it'd be. I bet you I could find some fucking crazy old school, serial killer that, amassed 70 kills or something, 70 murders.
If I could, I know a lot of people, this guy didn't kill anybody, Charles Manson. But I would love to interview that fool.
Ooh.
I would like to ask him some questions. Not like so much about like what he did and shit. I think that's pretty much out there. You can find that out. But like if he really was like working with the CIA, because there's stuff about that. There's conspiracies about him like being involved with the CIA or another private organizations at the time, MK Ultra, programs like that. There's this one cool book. What was the name of the book? Chaos, I think. That's pretty good.
The one with
I forgot the
Charles
author's name.
Manson.
Yeah, talking about working with the
Tom
CIA.
O'Neill, I think.
Yeah. There's a lot to it, man. I would like to ask him some questions about that shit.
Who I would want to interview?
Yeah, who would you want to interview?
The Zodiac Killer.
But they don't know who that is.
Shit, I just found him, bitch. Bam. You asked me who, I would just teleport right where that person is, whether they're alive or dead.
Yeah.
So I would either teleport like in front of some like super old person, maybe on their deathbed, or I would just teleport either to like a graveside or where that person died at or something.
I wonder if he's still alive. I don't know how old he'll be right now if he was.
I think the Zodiac Killer will probably be the most infamous, the famous or whatever serial killer.
That's crazy, huh? Those puzzles and shit that he would send. Those cryptic messages or whatever. I don't know, like all the symbols and shit. He would put them out there and tell the fucking police to put it on the front page or whatever, the newspaper. And people were just going to town trying to fucking cipher that shit, man. I think they did like decoding some of that shit, but I don't know. I know there were some that they didn't. And that's crazy. That fucker's, I don't know. That's a crazy shit, bro. Well, let me ask you some questions, man. Let's see.
Please do.
If you could be a fucking agent working as a mindhunter, bro, a mindhunter agent. Let's see how well you know your serial killers. First question, bro. Who was the boogeyman? We have Joe Ball, Sweeney Todd, or Albert Fish.
Probably Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd?
That's who I would guess, because I've heard that name before.
Yeah, close, man. It was Albert Fish.
Albert
Fish, bro. That fucker had a lot of names, bro. The fucking Wolfman of Wisteria, the Gray Man, Brooklyn Vampire, Moon Maniac. He was an old dude, but I think he was like, he killed like 3 or 9 people between there. But I think he said that he killed hundreds of people throughout his life and shit.
Damn.
Old dude, crazy dude. All right. Okay, next. Who was the Night Stalker? We have Jeffrey Dahmer,
Richard Ramirez,
Dexter Morgan.
Damn, Richard Ramirez.
You got it. Okay, yeah.
Richard Ramirez.
Richard Ramirez is a Night Stalker. I did an episode on that motherfucker, Fuckface. If you guys want to watch that, check that out.
Yeah.
All right. Who was the co-ed killer?
Ooh.
Ted Bundy, Patrick Bateman, or Ed Gein?
Jason Bateman?
Patrick Bateman.
Oh, Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy was the co-ed killer, bro. He would go around colleges, bro. Killed women. Kind of all looked the same, bro. Long brown hair, parted in the middle and shit. I think he had like a hatred for some woman that looked like that. I don't know if it was his mom or that was supposedly his sister at one time. I don't know. There was some crazy shit that happened when he was younger with his family.
Can't blame him, though. You know the best part about college chicks?
Yeah.
So I keep getting older and they stay the same age.
Yeah. So yeah, you got that right. Ted Bundy. All right, next we have Yeah. Next we have who was the son of Sam? We have Charles Manson, Norman Bates, or David Berkowitz.
David Berkowitz.
Bam, got that one done.
And what was he famous for? Because he was a New York guy too, or something.
He was
right?
the one that was like supposedly the dog was telling him to kill his neighbor's
okay.
dog. I think he said it later. It wasn't true and shit. That fucker's still alive.
Oh,
he did his time. I think he killed like 8 people. We'll just run up on him and
yeah.
shoot him and shit.
Didn't TT Jerry suck his dick?
Oh shit, is that for real? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know who that fucker is.
You've never heard of TT Jerry?
TTJ? Nah.
He's a transgender person that's on
Oh shit, for real?
Chris DiStefano's podcast. It's they're really cool.
Yeah.
They're the aunt uncle
In
of
prison?
Chris DiStefano's kids. She was in prison. He was in prison. She was in
Oh,
prison
shit.
for like 10 years, incarcerated, and was incarcerated with
He wanted some.
the son of Sam.
He or
and,
she wanted some serial killer dick or what?
I guess, yeah. And they would go around and fucking suck his dick.
That's interesting.
They had to tell all about it on a podcast.
All right.
But did Son of Sam kill like a shitload of people?
I think it just 8
Like,
people.
was it just gruesome how he did it? or-
couples just run up on like kind of like the Zodiac kind of killer kind of shit? You know what I mean? Just run up on motherfuckers
Just cap
in the
him?
car. Yeah, cap them. 44 caliber, I think they called him. The caliber killer.
Oh, shit. Damn.
He had other nicknames. Yeah. Yeah. Some of these guys have multiple nicknames and shit.
That's great. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? Something?
I was going to say, it's crazy how, like, some of the killers are, like, quick killers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this kind of, like, entails the podcast. Like, you have people that just go up, cap you, and kill you. And then you have somebody that kind of, like, I'm not talking about Richard Ramirez, but somebody just like that stalks you, kind of like how Jeffrey Dahmer was portrayed. Like, he would go to a club, see somebody, watch them, contemplate about it, and then, go and get that person, and there'd be a
Yeah.
long, thing to it, as opposed to this more, I mean, it's all random, but as opposed to like a super premeditated situation, but they're all lumped in like as a serial killer, I guess, because they have killed more than 3 people. But
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's ever been like a serial killer that poisoned people. Just poison. No, not like strangling, shooting, stabbing, nothing like that. No raping, just randomly like dumping poison in their drinks or whatever like that. Because that would be kind of fucking scary because it's like an act that's just like,
well, then you're just talking about Cosby is all you're talking about.
yeah, some shit like that, similar, yeah.
I mean, you're just talking about somebody that just goes around and throwing GHB in people's drinks,
Yeah.
and that's Cosby. I mean, you're talking about somebody they go and like sprinkle some dust on their mashed potatoes and they eat it and 40 minutes later die.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I could see that happening, but like way back in the day, it'd be harder to get away with now with toxicology reports.
Like royalty a bit, huh? 'Cause
Yeah.
those motherfuckers are always poisoning and shit.
But that's a lot of times how most of them died.
And I
back
bet
in
you
the
a
day.
lot of fucking kings or whatever people in royalty are serial killers.
What happened to the poison dart? That's what I want to know. The poison dart was a big thing. Remember that? Remember the poison dart was always depicted in movies, big thing in Ace Ventura,
Yeah.
and all these people would get hit with a dart,
And it just came from like out of
yeah,
nowhere, huh?
it hit him in the neck or something like that. You don't hear enough about these poison darts. I wonder if there was a mass murder that just fucking had a bunch of arrows or darts that tip with poison. Pow, pow, boom.
You need to bring him back, I think, or someone needs to bring him back.
I don't know about me, shit.
All right. Next question. Who was Pogo the Clown? Was it Robert Gray, John Wayne Gacy, or H.H. Holmes?
I'll say John Wayne Gacy.
You are correct, my friend.
Nice.
He was the killer clown, Pogo the Clown. He never really killed in this clown outfit, I don't think, but he would dress up, go to charity events, kids' schools, and shit like that.
Really?
Yeah, he was Pogo the Clown, which is like a friendly clown, and there was Patches the Clown, which is like a bad version or something like that. There was like a duality. Even in his real life, there's a duality with that fucker. Because everybody looked at him and saw like just a nice guy, like your neighbor and stuff. You know what I mean? It was at a time there was really no stranger danger. He is the reason why stranger danger became a thing. You know what I mean? Because he was involved with politics. He was like a construction worker. He was a manager of places and shit. But
And I feel like sometimes that's how people get off, is they know how much they're deceiving people,
he was
right?
married and he had kids, too.
You know,
Yeah.
like how far you can take it is probably how
Yeah.
some people, like how involved in your community. Like it's one thing to just be like a kind of a straggler,
Yeah.
you know, that just comes in and kills a few people, you know, but it being so prominent in a community
Yeah.
and still doing all those things and getting away with it, I'm sure there's some sort of thought process they have where they're like, fuck, like they get off on that knowing they have this secret that no one fucking knows about, right?
Crazy,
But they're
huh?
so involved, you know,
Yeah.
in everything. So, and they would
Yeah.
never suspect them.
Yeah. And this
Maybe they do that as a motive, you know. So
Yeah.
why would you suspect
cover
me?
up and shit,
yeah.
yeah. And this dude he would bury his fucking bodies in his crawl space, bro. Like there were so many bodies I heard, bro, that they were fused together and shit.
Damn.
Because they were just packed so tight. All right, let me see. Last question. Let me see. Who was the BTK killer? Was it Dennis Rader, Michael Myers, or Jason Voorhees?
The first one, David something or another.
Yeah, I threw some other name in there, but I was like, fuck, you'll fucking know that right away. Yes, it is the first one. David Rader, bro. He was the BTK killer. Do you know what that stands for?
Bound, torture, kill.
Yep.
So that's how they would find all the victims, was bound, tortured, and killed.
But that fucker, like, gave him his name. You know, listen, I get it. Like, if the press or society gives
Ordains you that name.
yeah, it gives you that nickname, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up and shady if you give yourself a fucking
Well,
nickname.
that just shows your ego and your
Yeah.
own narcissism.
It's
you
kind of
know?
like Kanye calling himself genius or some shit. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's kind of
Right.
like,
it's like anybody in sports calling themselves the GOAT. You know.
yeah.
or
So
just
I don't know. I have a little problem
real
with that.
cringy.
But yeah, that fucker. I guess he was a fucked up one too, bro. He was a fucked up fucking serial killer. I don't know, man. But that's it, I guess. Yeah, you passed this test, man. I think you can be a mind hunter, bro. You were familiar with some of these fucking serial killers and shit.
There was I remember there was a I can't even remember it. There was an awesome documentary I saw several months ago. I think when one of the small freezes came through in winter last year or this year.
Yeah.
And it was something to do back in the 1970s. I can't even remember any of it. But a lot of it showed like actual footage from the 70s, like in the area it happened. If you can find it, or you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
it's a documentary. I'm pretty sure on Netflix. It's a few episodes, but it's based in New York, and I'm positive it's in the 70s, and it's about a killer. If you can find that, definitely watch it because it's worth it. It's really good. I can't remember the name of it, but
You can't. We'll look into it.
yeah, just on the topic. Maybe we'll figure it out and throw it in there.
And
But
what's that about again? Or do you know?
like I said, it's just about, I don't remember, to be
No.
completely honest. I know it's about a killer, and it's based in the 70s. It's in New York, and they show a lot of actual 70s footage of not only the city and how it looked and what was going on, but also, you know, of course, stuff that was relevant to the story itself. But it was, golly, I can't remember, but it was really, I just remember thinking it was really, really good. So if you can find that or know what I'm talking about, definitely give it a listen or recommend it if you haven't.
Yeah, for sure. I will. And
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Yeah, I just watched Michael Myers last night, and
Halloween ends.
no, the first one, Halloween,
No, the one with the guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters.
Oh,
with John Carpenter, and
Best one, yeah.
yeah, and it was all right. Watching it kind of made me think like that's what people thought was scary, like the boogeyman back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
Because now, to me, that didn't seem very scary. Maybe it's just honestly because I knew. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good Halloween movies out there right now.
Yeah, man.
But I remember watching that, and the new Michael Myers movie came out, and they said that one was supposed to be okay. So maybe I'll give that one a look and see what's up.
See what's up. Yep. Well, that's it. That's all I have, folks. And
Well, listen. Thanks.
wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah, let's wrap
Hey,
this shit up.
You got anything to promote? Plug?
Fucking nothing. I ain't got shit. I ain't got shit to promote or plug.
Yeah.
If you listen to this podcast or this episode, please give it a like.
Yeah.
Give it a share. Comment on it. We're trying to blow this shit up if we can.
Yep.
One episode at a time. So we appreciate you listening. Stay alive.
Stay alive, man.
Trick or treat, bitch.
Love me. Conspiracy.
Perfect. Can be more than perfect.